Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, sorry that we are a little bit delayed. We were having
Yeah,
a chit chat conversation.
time flies. It's
Yes,
amazing.
yeah, happy Friday, everyone. And so, before we get started, I would like to go ahead and ring the meditation singing bowl to clear energies, and then we can get started. All right. All right. So, hello, everyone. If you're here, say hi. And I see Shabaka. It's late, and so is I. Yeah, we're late. Um, your brother's B-day and your aunt's party is next week. Oh, okay. Well, happy early birthday to your family. And so, yeah.
I
Uh,
did, yes. And I colored it. Is it too blonde? Am I too old to be so blonde? That's the
no,
question.
no. Normally I go blonde, but
Well,
not as
only my
blonde.
hairdresser knows, but most of this color is and not mine.
Oh, it looks good. It looks great.
You're very kind. Thank you. Just
Yeah.
don't look at the hands.
Well, I got some lotion for you.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, God. If they could just get rid of arthritis, we'd all be young forever.
Well,
Thank you very much.
I was always talking about that joint juice.
Yeah.
Trying to get it lubed up and
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, well, I mean, if everyone is shy, um, let's go ahead and get right
We're
into it.
not, are we?
No, but yeah, let's get the show on the road. So, Sonny, tell us a
Let's
little bit
see.
more about what's going on around this time.
Yeah, let's start with today. Even though the full moon's not until the 7th, let's take a look at from today and the next couple of weeks in March because, astrologers have been looking at March 2023 as a huge pivoting uh, time. There's a lot of outer planets, like 5 planets, changing signs this month. So certainly by the spring equinox after the 20th, we should all be feeling pretty different and in a positive way. You want to make sure that change falls on you with optimism. Sometimes change can provoke a fear energy, right? So we want to be really aware. This full moon is at 16 degrees of Virgo, and so it's going to have that spiritual feeling. Virgo is very spiritual. Um, it's very practical. This is about finding the balance between being practical and being spiritual, which means, when you're metaphysical and trying to live in a 3D world, when part of your energy is 5D, it's that constant struggle to keep realistic about you got to keep the water turned on and for now need to pay the power company for your electricity. But then there's another part of us that travels out of our body into other galaxies and so yeah, and I'll look at the chat here in just a few minutes when I give us some information. I see people putting up their placements and what they are, so happy to address that. Give me just a few minutes to put some things out there. So today, March 3rd, the planet Mercury goes into Pisces, and Saturn within a week on the 8th goes into Pisces. So we're going to have kind of a lineup in a sign opposite this moon. So Virgo Pisces is the axis that we're under here the next couple of weeks. And that is Pisces is higher consciousness and spirituality and all things that are metaphysical and magic and illusion and Um, Anyone out there remember Geller, the psychic who could bend spoons with his mind? So that's very much this energy, a magical, metaphysical, hard to explain quantum physics kind of experience. So, um, you know, that is great for people who like genres like this. Not so great for kind of, like stubborn, hard headed, very grounded people that don't, you know, really believe in quantum physics or time travel or alternate universes. Um, but I think that we're going to start seeing more mainstream information about otherworldly people and things, and so slowly but surely people will have to recognize that things have not are not as we have thought they were for a long, long time. That's Pisces, right? Pisces
Mhm.
spins kind of a dream, an illusion.
Mhm.
So with it at home, um, it's even more so. It's even more intense. So then we have coming up on the 7th of the full moon itself. It's holding hand. Let's see. I think out there by you on the west coast, it's 4:40 in the morning, and that would mean here on the east coast 7:40 a.m. So it's an early morning full moon. It's considered a super moon, so it's going to look really, really, really huge. Um, the other things going on about the same on the same day is historic. It's Saturn entering Pisces. So I think we talked a little bit last time about some of the events we can recall. The last time Saturn was in Pisces was in the mid 90s, between 93 and 96. And so now for the next few years, when with Saturn back in Pisces, you're going to see an explosion with artificial intelligence and yet another level of anything that is the electronic highway, um, internets,
Mhm. Yeah, from what I can recall, that was like a boom time for the
yes,
internet.
yes, it was. It's when Google started. It's when the smartphone came out. Um, so, um, on a more personal level, all these outer planets lining up in Pisces really calls to the soul to dig deep and within themselves to be authentic.
Mhm.
Saturn is Father Time, like the wise sage. So it's really about living your truth, finding your truth, maybe not being the persona of what your family or friends have wanted you to be, a nice, neat little uh, putting the round peg in the round hole, and everything being very comfortable. This is a time of humanity beginning to get somewhat uncomfortable because things are different. Um, and Gosh, there's so many comments. Like, let's take a minute to this chat just keeps going.
Okay.
Let's
So I
see.
think that first Shabaka was mentioning about my microphone. So I'd like to ask, is
Oh,
my microphone okay now, Shabaka? Or anyone else, if you can respond. And then I believe that JK, uh, okay, we talked about the hair. And then you have a fixed grand cross in your natal sky right now. Any wisdom that you can provide? I'm a Gemini rising at 29 degrees.
so a fixed grand cross. So the interesting thing about that is it's two oppositions, right? And that intersection where the oppositions meet are somewhat the energy core, right? So it's very powerful to be doing a grand cross. Gemini rising, that's all about disseminating information, being the messenger. A lot of duality there. You might find yourself doing many different jobs, not just one job. So a grand cross is sort of cosmic lottery of some sort. Things will come as gifts and by third parties, because oppositions are opportunities brought into our life by others. And so it's not completely in our control. We were just talking about being open to unusual opportunities that might come in our path, or doing something a little different puts out the vibration that we're open to receive. Um, Virgo can be the hermit. So this full moon might make us feel a little hermity, but there's a good amount of energy in coming up in Aries, which is just the opposite. It's fire and getting things done. So there might be like this real extreme in a grand cross of feelings like, I don't want to go to that party. That part of you, I want to go to that party. So, I was taught and try to live by, whenever the universe extends you an invitation, to do everything you can to accept it. And that helps our vibration manifest those things that we want on our subconscious. So, this energy that is setting up for 2023 is all about our hopes and wishes and dreams. So we need to be very aware of any negative self-talk. Virgo can be self-criticizing. It can criticize others. It comes out of that need to be the perfectionist. And that's the lesson of Virgo, right? Is there's no such thing as perfection. So, that's the compromise, is that you might not find the job or the person that is your perfect ideal of what you envisioned. Doesn't mean it's not great and wonderful to journey. So we all are guilty of cutting ourselves off from experiences when they don't feel like the fit we wanted. Sometimes, and this is like an old grandma thing, telling her young granddaughter or whatever, maybe you don't like that particular boy asking you out, but you go out with him because you might really like his friend. And it doesn't mean that you're going to cheat on anybody. I don't mean it that way, but just out socially and with friends, you might go with one person and you're really not hitting it off. But then in the process of being out and about and networking, you do meet someone that is very interesting to you that you would like to pursue. So being aware of how we put up our own boundaries and cut ourselves off from opportunities is very important during this month. Don't be dialed into how you think it's all got to be, because everything's in play now. It's all up in shifts and changes, social changes, which will trickle down to our workplaces and our families, neighbors. So it's a big month of pivoting into change. We have also 2 days ago on the 1st, we had Venus holding hands with Jupiter in Aries. And Venus holding hands with Jupiter is certainly an opportunity to expand your love and your money. It's certainly, you could meet a foreign person to have love with. A foreign investment could bring you more money, because Jupiter is about foreign cultures, higher mind, travel. You might sign up for a class at a college in something of the arts, because Venus is art and all things that beautify yourself and your environment. Depending on where you are, it may be a time to expand your garden or expand your home. It could be so, because Jupiter is the largest planet in the galaxy. So whatever it's doing, it's expanding. So it's true that when people have Jupiter expanding on their ascendant of their chart, which is your physical body, you can physically like gain weight. It's really weird how planets work that way.
I
And
know
so,
I felt like that in the past couple days.
oh my gosh, I don't even want to go there, but it's true. And with it being with Venus, Venus is your love and your money. So, expansion of your money, expansion of your opportunities to love, opportunities to meet love. And in Aries, that is the children. That's never forgetting it's never too late to have a happy second childhood. This month is about letting go of all the trauma and hurt and past pain and anything that you've held on to, that you've projected onto future partners or situations. We got to all let our story go. No more stories that we carry forward. No more backpack about how this one did that to me and that's what I went through. The whole martyrdom of but this is why things are the way they are. Life is just life, it happens. And if anything, Uranus transits over the last 2 years have taught us a certain degree of detachment, a healthy degree of detachment. It doesn't mean that you're numb and you're not, engaged in your life, but it does mean to know when to let go and to know and keep a perspective on what you perceive as something done against you. Is it really? Is it not just us manifesting some kind of Neptunian delusion that doesn't serve us? I have no idea why my computer is doing that with the light, but anyway,
No, I'm sorry.
yeah, who's here? Somebody's here, I'm sure. Now, my dad, we talked about my dad last time, I think, and his birthday was recently, and I've had a lot of like dad symbolism and stuff. And my neighbor, who's in his upper 80s, is in. Let's say a little prayer for him. He's in the hospital this weekend, awaiting a heart stent that he may or may not make it through. So,
Mm.
and Saturn moving into Pisces is the father. My father was a Pisces, so isn't it weird how Saturn moving into Pisces and my Piscean dad starts manifesting in different ways. So, if you know the signs of your family and friends and loved ones, you can maybe watch how, you know, uh, Pisces, Virgo are opposition. So that's a very people finding their spiritual meat, finding their niche, so to speak, on their religion. One of the things that's up in play for our society is this concept of um, denominations of religion, right? So we've all been sort of fed a story about you fit in this bucket or this bucket and this bucket. And God forbid you should have beliefs or feelings that encompass different parts of all of them, right? So sort of a melting pot of religion, you might say, which to me is just kind of another way of saying new age spirituality,
Mhm.
what we and it comes in cycles throughout our history. So this is a time when the lines get fuzzier between what this denomination believes and practices and what that one does. So and then so we have the full moon on the 7th, and then on the 8th, we have Mercury and the Sun holding hands in Pisces. So, like 5 planets in Pisces within the next week. So, what is Pisces? It's the feet. Virgo, the full moon, is the intestines. So your emotions could manifest symptoms like gout in the feet, or you want to be careful where you walk, be mindful of wearing good fitting shoes so you're not hurting your feet. The Virgo part of the nervous system and intestines, you might experience indigestion because something has upset you emotionally. Um, some of the things like soaking your feet in Epsom salts can be very therapeutic. Something as simple as having some fresh ginger root on your counter, and if you feel any kind of indigestion or upset stomach, just slice a little slice and suck on that like a mint. Ginger is really medicinal for a lot of things, but especially for upset tummy and indigestion. So so we've got Saturn moving into Pisces, and when it does, it's going to hold hands with Neptune on the 12th. Saturn, Neptune. So this is, the father of structure and uh, wisdom and earthy, right? Very stoic energy. And Neptune, the fantasy. And so you get these two very different energies holding hands at the same degree. I think you could have an outer body experience if you were so inclined. For those of us that study these subjects and come to these chat rooms and spend time like this together, this is very enhancing for our meditation uh, visions. Uh,
I want to interject. I think I had
yes.
a dream of you. I had a dream of you. Like,
Oh,
I know it was the first time for me, but
I've had dreams with you in it before.
you have?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So,
I think we
um,
were in Texas.
really? Oh my God, that's so strange.
Yeah, I thought it was strange, but
What were we doing? Roping cattle? But, catching a
we
cowboy.
were checking out those chaps.
Oh yeah, I know. Those,
What
cowboy
fun
boots.
leather they were made
Yeah,
from.
I know, right? The saddle. But anyway, saddle and rope. Anyway, um, it was like multiple people, like well-known people with you included, that and these are I want to say psychic or spiritual like people that were all in my dream. It was like more than one. It was
Yeah.
you and a couple of other people, and I
We were
woke
having
up.
a conference, a convention, a
It was
psychic
weird.
convention.
It was really weird. And then in my waking moments, in my conscious states, I was getting a lot of ear ringing that day.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't explain it. My ears were ringing like really loud. It would alternate like whenever I say a specific word, I
wow.
knew that I had to like really hone in on it because I was like hearing like a certain frequency. And then I said something else, and then my other ear was going out, and I was like, "What in the world is?" It was just the weirdest thing. But that day when I had visitors in my dream, I think I was astro traveling, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like it was just it was a
And
strange one.
and we can exercise those muscles in our brain, and we should. This month is a great opportunity to expand our experiences spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've said this before, but it is worth repeating with Neptune Saturn conjunction around the corner. And that is to share what was taught to me about dream work. And that is to either have a recording device or a journal with you next to your bed, and that part of the brain and muscle that you exercise to remember and recall dreams is like any other muscle, right? We have just like a psychic ability. You have to work it. You have to give it attention. So
Mm-hmm.
every night before you're going to sleep, let the last few things on your mind be in your mind's eye to envision a movie camera, right? And you're setting it up, and you're setting the intention I'm going to record my dreams tonight. And then getting in the habit upon awakening that, oh yeah, I've got to rewind the tape, I got to rewind the film, and just try to spend those few moments before you're totally conscious of trying to glean something from that. Like when you get up, write down or record, how are you feeling? Are you tired? Are you rested? Are there any colors that stand out, or numbers, or even fragments of statements, or faces, or anything at all that you can recall? And you do that every night for a couple of weeks. And the reason this doesn't work is people give up, get impatient, they're not getting it fast enough, and they give up. But you have to give that muscle time to be trained to do what you're asking it to do. And
Mhm.
as you write down these fragments of feelings and numbers or people, whatever you can capture, it starts making sense. And what you're doing is you're bringing from the subconscious mind, Neptune, into your conscious mind, Virgo, what you can apply to a now situation. You know, what's in your life right now that you're trying to get answers about or information on, or, you know, for a lot of us, when asked, you know, like you go to a psychic and there might be so many things in your mind, but a good blanket blessing is, I want to know what the universe would have me know more than anything at this time. So instead of getting overwhelmed about, well, am I going to get that job? And is he going to call? Or, you know, all these, you know, monotonous needling of the brain, uh, you know, family things will be very much under focus right now. Maybe relationships with siblings and aunts and uncles, extended families. So um, there may be old history there that, you know, you had, what comes to mind is, you know, an alcoholic uncle that scared you as a child, right? And now everybody's all grown up and they're showing up at their sibling's door, and you're there, and you're flooded with the fear that used to come up, that fright reaction, right? And so this is the energy where we have to be detached to watch it, you know, watch that emotion. What's really coming up in me right now?
Mhm.
And try to get to the root of what is that response. It's not him and the thing. It's what it triggers from something deep in a subconscious way. And
Mhm.
these are the times of healing, right? Virgo, Pisces, this is the healer. This is all about, you know, trying things a new way that get you healthier, just legitimately having a better diet, making better choices. um, it's hard in our world right now to try to make good food choices. Even I'm even suspicious of bottled water, and if it's really clean water, you know, I mean, who is to say?
You should get a meter like my son did.
Yeah, I probably would get sick. I
Mhm. Surprisingly enough, the water in Washington is actually really good compared
Well,
to other
that's good.
places. And the reason why it kind of makes sense is because my mother is a water, like, I don't know, she's a water connoisseur. And she told me that the water in North Carolina has some sort of like chemical in there so that whenever you wash your dishes, it leaves like a residue in your sink, you know,
Oh,
where you go to dry your dishes because she's old school. She doesn't use the dishwash.
right.
And so you can see where the residue comes. And then when she was living in Arizona, it was worse.
Wow.
Possibly because the water from Arizona is coming from, yeah, the Colorado, but they probably chemically treat that water or wherever that water is coming from, and there's
Well, there's
oh,
supposedly, this might be an interesting thought on that. Under Arizona are some huge cities built. So water comes from the ground, right? So if
mhm,
they've disrupted subterranean places, then that would poison water supplies.
Well, I just know that the water is not. My mom can tell. She even when she takes a bath, and
Right.
in that water, she noticed that it's not good. But the water here in Washington, where it rains a lot, she can tell that the water is
It's
much
clean.
clearer. Yeah, clearer, cleaner, and it's because we get a lot of rainwater. You know.
Neat.
Yeah.
Well, Virgo is all about purification.
Mhm.
It's represented by the Vestal Virgin, the keeping the home hearth burning, earth mutable sign. So it's a very loving, um, give service to mankind kind of energy, right? The Vestal Virgins were tasked with just keeping the sacred flame going,
Mhm.
and fire to mankind brought power. So there are these very deep archetype of myths that come with this subconscious work in Neptune, and that's where we are, and it's exciting. And to you know do the energy right. Don't let it do you, because left to our druthers, we could probably end up in a corner sucking our thumb. You know what I mean? Because it's really strange. It's a very interesting, changeable energy. I've noticed mainly the thing is speaking your truth from your heart. Like, where in social situations, work, family, you may have always been the one to just go along to make everybody happy, and inside you're dying a little bit at a time because you're going against what is authentic to you.
Mhm.
This is the opportunity to speak your voice, allow your heart to come through your words, and it can be, Virgo is very gentle, right? It doesn't have to be some big blowout. Aries is not so gentle, the Mars argumentative warrior like energy, but Virgo is very gentle and loving and wants to be the peacemaker and and the diplomat, right? So
I think more diplomat than a peace-loving person. I'm just sorry, but I know a lot of Virgos, so it's not.
you've got a lot of Virgo too.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo rising, but I'm just saying I know a lot of Virgos that.
Yeah. Well, we're all just like a special fingerprint of many different things too.
Mhm.
And so let's see, where are we going with this? So we've got this Pisces net and this Saturn Neptune conjunction. Huge, huge. I think another way that may display itself is that which represents authority has some sort of spiritual event. Say, for instance, there's a dam, which would be Saturn, the levee breaks and the water floods. It's a very obvious expression of Saturn, Neptune holding hands at the same degree. The water overcomes the structure, the emotion overcomes that stoic boundary or rule, right? Because Saturn's all about restrictions and rules. Um, so you may see that play out, like maybe there's a rule at your work and you see that it gets flowed a different way, right?
Mhm.
Emotions come up to break down that rule. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
very Saturn Neptune. I'm trying to make it obvious so that be on the lookout in your environments and your realities about structures being overtaken by emotion. And what came to my mind just now is that old and we've got stuff happening in Aries, which is kids, that old kids game. What was it? Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Remember that?
Mhm.
That's March. Rock, paper, scissors. So,
Mhm.
being more slow down and be more watchful of your thoughts and how you're reacting to other people. Like something I've noticed lately that could provoke me to be upset, and I'm trying to just keep it cool.
Right,
It's
right.
just how crazy people are out there, right? Driving. So when
So
you
it's like, you know, you're conscious aware of these energies, but your people that is surrounded you, you're seeing it play out or unfold in front of you, and um,
and we've
you
got to send light, right? We have to
know,
breathe and surround negativity with light and transmute it. So,
so be the bigger person and say,
right.
mm-hmm.
I think that's our jobs here is we're navigating an energy that somewhere back in our ancient souls is familiar because mankind has been through these regenerations thousands of times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our role here is to help others navigate where they're confused, they're melting down, they're angry. Change makes people angry. Even if it's good change, you know, you can see people like here's a for instance, in I'm in Virginia and there's this whole legislature about what the power company can charge you for your power, right?
Mm.
They're actually the state is trying to make this huge conglomerate lower their rates. Well, you'll find people that will argue that they'll pay that money, that people need their power and not receive, you know, a lower rate because it's change. Well, it's got to be something bad, you know what I mean? It's got to mean we'll have brownouts. We'll have rolling brownouts if we, you know, pay less. So that sort of mentality of allowing good, allowing to receive good things. And change can be unsettling, but if you're constantly being optimistic about only the best will come, then that's what you'll manifest. Because this whole energy for the next really ongoingly for our lives is about manifesting your thoughts. So we're in the pivotal shift in March. And as we go through 2023, we're going to have the same thing that always happens every summer where outer planets go retrograde. So, where Saturn's going to touch on Pisces for about 11 weeks, by June, it's going to go retrograde and back up into Capricorn where it's been for the last few years. So,
Mm-hmm.
we're not firmly into this new age energy. We're
So we're just getting a little taste of what's to come.
exactly. So pay attention to the next 11 weeks.
Mm.
What's happening for you? And you can, so then as it goes direct in October and
Mm-hmm.
moves forward, it's January 2024 when it's firmly back at Pisces, moving forward, and will be there for years. The other big one is Pluto is changing signs, going into Aquarius. And that's later in the month, the 24th. Our next lunation, where we would have a chat, is the 21st for a new moon in Aries. So I can expand on more of that. But Pluto changing into Aquarius is another phenomenal history making event. And it will be there till like 2044, I believe. So for a lot of us, it will be there the rest of our life. Pluto in Aquarius is it's so dawning of the age of Aquarius. I mean, it's so kumbaya, humanity, love one another, very 60s kind of energy, 1960s, you know, flower power, uh,
Mm-hmm.
burn the bra, uh, love is in the air. Um, there was a musical that hit Broadway that made history called Hair. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
anyone remembers that, but you know, this was about being free, and Aquarius is the individual and unconventional. So that's why I feel like part of March being the pivotal Saturn Neptune conjunction, find your truth. Who are you? Who are you? And then as we get Pluto into Aquarius, that's your expression of who you are. And you're that individual artist, or you're that individual unconventional. What we were talking about that made us a little late was we're all having to reinvent our skill set. You know,
Hmm.
part of what I've done my whole career is not needed anymore. So I have to figure out how to reinvent what I can glean from my past experience and apply to now that has value. That, you know, and what it is for me, and you'll all have something different, is I know how to research history before the internet. I know where to go to find records that aren't on the internet or were never scanned in to be accessible remotely. So, you know, I was saying to Scorpio Moon, it's like you've got to find the thing that makes you stand out, and they got to keep you, or they want to, you know, they want to use you for your skill that they don't know how you do it. They just know you do it, and they need that done because
Hmm.
artificial intelligence is taking the place of a lot of that human connection. We will.
I want to interject. I wonder if HR is using the AI more so, and then they're just kicking rocks, kicking back, and just like checking into work, and you know what I mean? It's kind of like the luggage person where
Checking
you
the
check in your
luggage.
bags, you do self check-in. It's like, well, what is the person there that's supposed to check in the bags there for? And then they're saying, well, we're just here to make sure that you're doing it right.
I think it's become very robotic. You
Hmm.
know, like they have this concept of what makes their business run, and they just want the robots in place to have their heads down, punch the clock, do the task, punch the clock, and go. There
Hmm.
isn't a lot of that human resources, you know, like there used to be. I think COVID killed a lot of that sort of personal contact, or people even still coming to an office. You know, the remote working thing has changed a lot of how people interact. Um, what we'll see too, which is exciting for Pluto and Aquarius, is mainstream medical industry that has been completely owned by corporations will implode, right? What does Pluto do? It regenerates. What happens when something regenerates? It's totally destroyed. The promise of Pluto is it always rebuilds back better that which it destroys. So I think the whole industry of holistic medicine and natural medicine, understanding you have the power within you to heal. The whole thing about ancient medicine is they didn't have anything other than that belief that they could heal with their mind. There wasn't any separate institution or building, you know, hospitals back in 240 BC where you went to die. So, this concept of what your mind believes is what you will manifest is ultimately the most important thing. You have to believe that you can
Um,
heal yourself.
I think that I mean that's a lot because
Yeah,
that's why the medical industry is always pumping out ads and stuff to make sure that everyone believes that they need those things. You know what I
right.
mean? But what about the holistic people? I mean, like, who has enough and make enough plants and vials of that stuff, to say, hey, try this natural, all natural, organic, that would be amazing if we could invest into stuff like that, I
Yeah,
mean, I think that we should like band together all the plant growers and people who know how to extract. Um,
absolutely.
yeah, and
And, you know, another part of what Saturn and Capricorn has been is the law,
mhm.
right? So if these labs and corporate conglomerates have been breaking the law, there's a justice about Pluto and Aquarius. There's a justice about Saturn and Pisces. It's bringing the truth. Uh, that's where helping people navigate those delusions they've had that things are one way. I think one of the most obvious, biggest examples is Disneyland or Disney World, whichever place you go. I mean, the concept has been about uh, lovey dovey children's stories. And
Mhm.
when you really look at the messages they give children, it's not positive, but it's been cloaked. And there's a certain luring into something that is not
Yeah, there's
healthy.
always a scary, like, villain in every.
Well, did we talk about Walt Disney one time and like his first, didn't you bring that up before about his first Mickey Mouse was really very mean? He had to change Mickey Mouse to, be more lovey dovey because his original Mickey Mouse was just a mean villain type.
Mhm.
So, and then, Walt Disney himself was a very, very strange man.
Mhm.
And so nobody wants to believe that this concept that has been bred in our society about every parent wants to take their kid to Disneyland and every kid wants to read Disney books and every girl wants to be the princess and every boy wants to be the prince and blah, blah, blah. It's a totally unrealistic concept, but it's nice and warm and fuzzy, very Neptunian, right? Very, very delusional and dreamy. And well, that kind of thing coming to an abrupt Saturn like truth. They've arrested all those people in Florida at Disney for trafficking children. They have found underwater routes where bodies have been moved to traffic them.
Mhm.
That's very unbelievable. And certainly most people don't want to believe it and will resist it. So, our pivotal month of March is about some uncomfortable truths starting to come out and the amount of resistance people have to believing it. Right. And so we're here. We've been metaphysical and new age all our lives. And we're so grateful that finally some truth and authenticity is coming out, but we're also in the fallout of how other people react to it. And so that's going to be our task is how do we help our family members and friends and people? What my reaction, what my strategy has been for some time is I have just stayed quiet. If somebody brings it up, I'll tiptoe towards what the subject, like I just said, but where I work a lot, there's a lot of trips to Disney, parents taking their kids, and it's a big family celebration and blah, blah, blah. And of course, I'm just like, oh, silent. But as it comes out, because it's got to come out in a more mass way, not just like individuals on individuals. It's got to come out through, media, through the
Mhm.
internet, through that electronic highway. Um, yeah, you're right. Walt loved to kill the parents. How many instances in our United States have we had of kids killing their parents?
Mhm.
It's just not good. And so I think we're getting revved up to really kick into gear a whole new world, a whole new reality. And we're perfectly poised for it. It's what, I think a lot of us who have been deeply spiritual, if not all of our life, it's almost a weird kind of depression, sadness that more people are not more aware because you're misunderstood or you're judged, or, I can't tell you how many times I've been told I was crazy.
Mhm.
And, you can go through almost believing that at some point, and then spirit does something to renew your belief, that magic in your life, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm on the pulse. I know what this is. This vibration of energy. I know I'm right. I just got to wait for everybody else to figure it out. And the whole thing about healing is believing on every level of your consciousness that you have that power. And what happens is we're so um, manipulated and regimented to certain beliefs that we might believe it on one level, but then somewhere deep down inside, we think we need that medicine because that's how we've been trained.
Mhm.
And that's I think the hardest part is to through and through know without a doubt you have the power to heal yourself within you. And that's what the work of Louise Hayes was about. She became famous because she healed herself of cancer by the power of her mind. And the way she did that through meditation is she would envision wagons of cowboys surrounding the cancer or ill cells in her meditations, destroying the sick cells. And she did that with such passion and persistence and consistence and no let up. And, she lived to be like 92. That was in the 70s when she was a young woman. And she just died maybe 4 years ago or so of natural causes. So, you know, we do have records in our reality that prove that we do have that power within us. It's just now we have to work on that belief on every level. And that's what I think our energy is about shifting over this month and ongoingly for the rest of the year. It's an exciting time, and it's kind of like a roller coaster, where you might not know what you might see pop up next.
Mhm.
It's exciting,
Well,
though.
enjoy the ride, right?
Enjoy the ride. So I made a list here of a couple of things I'll mention.
Okay.
So, some trends for 2023 are advancing artificial intelligence, evolution of finance and banking systems, technology used in higher services, recognition of holistic and natural cures by mainstream medical field, spiritual awakening and acknowledgement of connection to energetic vibrations, time travel, and aliens amongst us. So, yeah. So, we're in a whole new age, and um, where there's always been a segment of society that has had beliefs in UFOs or had beliefs in metaphysical things. We actually have the planets and the galaxies lining up to support those beliefs, to actually put it in motion. So,
Yeah, there's actually more and more that's coming out on the UFO front. And
yeah,
yeah, and it's exactly like I mean, like, I had a few encounters with these alien crafts, if you call them. The last one that I saw was actually a ball. It looks like a glow ball, and it was going slow. And basically, what it was doing, it was scanning all of the rooms in a hotel that I was staying at on Myrtle Beach, which was in South Carolina.
yeah,
And me and my friend, I mean, my sister-in-law at the time, we were seeing it. I said, "Did you see that?" And she said, "Yeah, I did." And then we tried to capture it on video, but
right.
obviously, we weren't steady with our, cell phones, and
Nervous, yeah.
yeah, we couldn't capture it completely, but it was going really slow. And then when it got to the end of the building, it went straight out to the sea. But
Fast.
yeah, it was like, phew, and
Yeah,
then it's like, boom, and then it was gone. I was like, you know what?
yeah.
I said, I
Don't
don't know
question.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how can we prevent? And it was a tiny ball. It wasn't like a big thing. I thought it was
Right.
a drone at first. I was like, well, what is that? And it was a little subtle glow ball.
Right.
That's how I mean, but you know what? I was thinking when it passed me by, I don't think it was manned by the alien, right?
Yeah.
I believe that it was like a device, like what we would do
Yeah.
amongst other people, like a drone, and they sent out this probe to
Yeah.
kind of scan, like I
Yeah.
guess, activity, what humans are doing. It will collect that data, and then it will just go into a different dimension,
Yeah.
because, I guess how, like, it goes from one universe to another universe, so to
Yeah.
speak. Yeah. That's that I mean, I was like, "Wow, that was actually really interesting." But that was the last experience that I saw. But the one prior to that, because I had several alien encounters, was when I was driving in Florida, and this was, like, on like, 10 West or something like that, and, this craft was going, like, like in a circle, like, it was like it just do it like a U shape really fast, and obviously, there's nothing that we have that does that,
Yeah.
like, our crafts, they just go on the line, and you can go up or down, but not like in a
Right.
U, like
Right.
and that was, when I was around in my 20s, and then I actually had a personal encounter when I was a little girl, when I was about 3 or 4 years old, but, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that, but that was the scariest one of them all.
Good.
But, yeah, like, I don't know, and I've actually heard from other people that are more, I guess, popular or well-known, and
Yeah.
they've had those same experiences that I had when I was a child. So, I believe that they
Kind of
just
weird, isn't it?
it's weird, but I think you kinda explained, like, how you've encountered,
It's weird.
a cross
Right.
alien, right? Where they, actually are alien-like, but then they become more human-like.
Well, what I think I remember sharing, and I'll share it again. I got it from Sylvia Brown.
Okay.
Um, her book called Ancient Mysteries of the Ancient World.
Mhm.
And she has a section in there about how to tell aliens,
Mhm.
and that their hair is very synthetic. And when they're at home in their own world, they have gills, right? So they usually have some kind of odd facial nose sinus construction that they shuffle because they're not used to the gravity here on Earth. And I worked in this office a few years back, and this girl, her hair just looked so fake. But I mean, it wasn't a wig, I mean, she flitted around and stuff, and she did shuffle. And more I observed her, I thought, I think she's one of them. She was a little odd, but I like odd, so I'm not putting that down, but there's just
Right.
something about her different. Well, then next thing I know, she's telling me about surgery she had right here to remove a cyst, and that shape of her nose, it's sort of flattened out, right?
Mm.
Anyway, that's where I picked up those things. If it's a great book to pick up. Her Secrets of the Ancient Mysteries of the Ancient World. Secrets and Mysteries of the Ancient World. She goes through the Bermuda Triangle, the pyramids, because most of her practice was hypnotherapy. And
Mhm.
she kept records of people under hypnosis, and totally unrelated people, years apart, would share the same experience of how spaceships made the pyramids. They were lowered to where they are. And so, yeah, that's a great book during these times to catch up on some of that ancient history. And so, I want to do kind of a little like synopsis of all that's going on this month. We'll readdress it a few times, I'm sure, as the weeks and months go on, but I'd like to record it so people can refer back to it. So currently, right now, the sun is in Pisces. March 3rd, Mercury enters Pisces. March 8th, Saturn enters Pisces. March 17th, Venus enters Taurus. It's home. Venus loves being in Taurus. These are great opportunities to meet the love of your life in an art gallery.
So what
That's
ti what day is that?
it's St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, the
But
17th.
look at the Irish to you, you know. We all need to go to an Irish
Make
pub.
sure you wear green.
Yeah. Oh no, maybe you want to be pinched, right? Don't wear green,
Yeah,
right?
maybe a pink.
So then March 20th is the spring equinox. It's where the sun moves into Aries at 0 degrees. March 21st, Mercury enters Aries. March 24th, Pluto enters Aquarius. And March 26th, Mars enters Cancer. So those are some pretty big sign shifts. We have our full moon in Virgo on the 7th. We have a new moon in Aries on the 21st. Some noteworthy aspects, and anybody that wants to more clarity on what I'm going to read off, I made these notes for myself because there was so much going on. I can't possibly keep it all straight.
Right.
So March 1st, Venus holding hands with Jupiter in Aries. March 8th, Mercury holding hands with the Sun in Pisces. March 12th, Saturn holds hands with Neptune. March 16th, the Sun holds hands with the Neptune and Mercury in Pisces. So the 16th of March is another spiritual portal to really exercise those psychic faculties. Do your dream work. You know, do something.
Dream or your dream, because on the
Dream your dream.
17th, you're gonna
Right.
manifest that person.
That's right. And then where March 21st, the sun um, the sun and Mercury will both be in Aries. So Mercury enters Aries, and then the sun holds hands with it there momentarily. The sun and Mercury and Aries together is again that childlike fascination. You know, reinvent something you enjoyed as a child into an adult hobby or to an adult expression. March 26th, Mars is making a positive aspect to Saturn. So Mars trine Saturn is lady luck. That's another opportunity to feel invigorated,
What day
energized.
is that again?
March 26th.
26. Okay.
So those are the noteworthy relationships between planets over the next few weeks. That's a lot. So
Can
if
you
you're feeling,
can you take a picture, a snapshot of that and send it to me?
sure,
Not
sure,
now, but later, and then I'll
sure,
make a little, artsy thing to post, and you can
sure,
put it up on your website too.
sure.
Mhm.
Um, so I guess what I'm trying to say is if you feel confused, if you feel overwhelmed, if your energy has been like up and down, there's good explanation for that. And it's about using our spiritual tools that are very simple, sitting quietly for 5 minutes every day. Clear your mind. Be watchful of your mind. What are you reacting to? I have a friend getting ready. She'll be 80 years old this year, and you'd never know it. She works, she lives independently, very active. You'd never know she's as old as she is. Her mother lived to be 104, so she's got good genes.
Mm.
But when you drive, when you're a passenger in her car, she drives like she is road rage. She flips the bird to people. She drives crazy, you know what I mean? And it's like she's not unsafe, but she gets really angry at other drivers. And my point of bringing her up is you may experience this kind of unexplainable anger towards things that don't usually provoke you. This is a lot of energy shifting. And it's just very important that we feel connected to our heart and don't let things trigger us. Watch the trigger. So if somebody says or does something to you, I was thinking of her, if somebody pulled in front of her, how it would just trigger this like, rah. And so, oh, why is that printing? I didn't mean to do that.
Is it a
So
mess?
anyway, my leg hit something on my printer here. Let's see. I didn't mean to do that. So that is so weird. That is so weird. My printer just started printing for no reason. That is so weird. And it's printing out. Is it printing blank pages? I guess because I'm not trying to print anything.
No, I'm
That
like,
is so weird. So anyway, it's confirmation we're on the right track. Okay, do your tools. Practice your psychic faculty. Give yourself 5 minutes every day to just empty your head and be still. You've got 5 minutes every day to be still. If you start to feel triggered, remind yourself to stop. What is it? What's at the root of what that trigger is? And that's how we do the energy. Don't let it do you.
well, it sounds like March is going to be gravy.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities.
And
A lot,
don't let that whatever let it get to you. It'll be all
right. Don't let other people get to you. Um, That's so funny. Your tech is having a party without me. That is so funny.
right. Time travel.
That's so great. Y'all are wonderful. And I know I've missed a lot of questions, but I wanted to kind of get all of it out and then now we can play.
Okay, yes, let's play.
That's what.
Uh,
And you had cards from the eighth house. So that's a very Scorpion. That's
mm,
Pluto. That's again that regeneration, you know, rebirthing, reinventing what you do, how you do it. I pulled out these cards. They're the star codes, Astro Oracle. They go by like the planets and the signs. Okay, Shabak, the 700 files. So the story goes that in ancient times, the power of the Catholic Church dictated. Remember, you've seen it in history where you would be burned at the stake if you thought you could talk directly to God, and they wanted you to just focus on the Catholic Church was the only way that you could talk to God, and that was a thing. And because of that, it's believed that 700 different books that were never published in any kind of Bible or public way were hidden in chambers underneath the Vatican, and those have been rediscovered. And one of the teachings in astrology, uh, as I've grown up, is that the reason it's not more widely acceptable is because in the Bible it's frowned upon or seen as charlatans, and you know, uh, but in these 700 books or scriptures that have been hidden, it actually speaks to reincarnation and the metaphysical tools, the time travel, the um, other other species, other galaxies, and that whole thing about hiding them from society dealt with power and control. That if serfs and slaves in the fields thought they could reincarnate to come back to be a king, that would diminish any of the power that a king or a pope had.
mhm.
So that is the folklore that we will be discovering more and more of these hidden scriptures and ancient records that have spun a certain story in society that has just been that a story and not necessarily the whole truth. So anyone can reach me at lionmountainhealing.com or lionmountainhealing@gmail.com. I'm happy to converse with anyone. So what are these files about? Like reincarnation, other galaxies, just like aliens building the pyramids. So the story is we're supposed to believe that like meager little human beings like us moved stones from however many, was it 500 miles away, that type of stone was found. There's no logical way, just, meager little human beings could roll those stones all that distance. So, um, and then there's another, tale of the way the pyramids are laid out in other like Easter Island and uh, other points on the earth were more like Stonehenge landing pads for spaceships. Just you don't have to use PayPal. Just email me, and I can give you another way to make a donation. I've had experiences as well. Yeah, saying I deleted. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
you can also do like Western Union if
Yeah, no, I would probably just give you an address, and you could just send me, you know, send me what you have. I think there's probably another way to do a card, but I'd have to look into that. Sure. You said you were having a problem with something at 0 degrees, and I wanted to go back because I saw some degree questions here. So, 0 degrees and 29 degrees are called anaretic. They're very significant in astrology. So, where we're going to have Saturn at 0 degrees here in a week or so, um, that's like the beginning of that energy. That means it's a newness to that energy. The sun holding hands with Mercury on the spring equinox at 0 degrees Aries. That means everything Aryan, which is the pioneer, right? Aries wants to be first at getting someplace or discovering something. Um, I'm trying to see what does it mean to have a completely empty right? Don't worry about that, Shabaka. So here's the thing about patterns and charts. And if you see clusters of planets here or there are actual studies of chart patterns. Um, so how basically I don't have a copy of one right here handy, do I? I should. I don't want to show anybody's personal chart, but so you got a round dial with 12 slices of pizza. Each slice is a house. So you've got the horizon, and which is the ascendant, and then you've got the nadir, which is the midheaven, and the nadir, the very bottom of the chart. So in those quadrants, you can have when you're born, it's as if you're taking a picture from heaven down on the galaxy of where things were. And ancient people believed that those placements were significant to your life. So they don't stay there. They they move constantly. So when I do a chart, it's to take the natal placements and progress them to when we're doing the reading, right? So just because you don't in your natal chart have any planets on the right side of your chart has no real significance other than a good bit of your life is more, you had a lot in the 12th house, is more spiritual, uh, old soul kind of energy. Like you've always been wise beyond your years. You may have moved around a lot. So the things represented by, like, say, the 11th, 12th, first, and second house might play more at certain times. But as these planets move and progress, you've got plenty of stuff going on in the right side of the chart. So that would be more like um, your home, what you do for work, your relationships, and your spirituality. So you wouldn't be in this chat room if you weren't a spiritual person. So that tells you right there you've got activity on your right side of your chart. So don't get too worried about where planets fall. It's more about as they progress. So that's how they practice medicine in the ancient times, is they take your birth chart, progress it to when you were feeling symptoms, and compare it to what planets in the heaven at that time were making aspects to your chart. And then they would suggest herbs to try and help with the symptoms. So that's what I used to travel and talk at conferences about, is the astrology of herbs, just sort of the ancient practice of astrology as it related to your body and healing. So for feet to be swelling is very Piscean, and soak them in some Epsom salt. I have much swelling in my eyes, so slices of cucumber on your eyes would help. I feel like that's some kind of allergic thing, something blooming that's causing an allergy. I see this question. Can you tell me more about this? But I don't know what this is. I missed something. Oh, wow. See? You know, one of the things that I don't like people to harp on it, but I do think everyone should journey it, is past life regression. I've met people that stay too hung up on what they were in past lives. You're here and now living your life. But it is interesting to do some past life regression type of work to give you insight for your current life. In the chart, it's all about the North Node, wherever you're. And I thought about, I didn't prepare it, but maybe we can do it in the next month or so. Maybe instead of doing the cards, but going through, if your North Node's in Aries, what it means, if your North Node's in Taurus, what it means, and going through those North Node placements, because the North Node is considered your fate, what you are here to do. And that's what most of us want to figure out. Why am I here? What's it all about? But again, time got away from me, and I didn't. I was good to get what I got prepared.
I mean, that sounds good. So I guess just make a mental note for the next, you know.
Help me remember.
Do you have like, hold on.
Oh,
Can you
maybe
repeat it
I should
again?
make a
Because
note.
I'm the one that has the notepad, right?
Right, you make notes, but we want to do part of our evening as North Node. Well, actually, the spring equinox would be appropriate, because in astrology, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. That's where we begin. So on the March 21st, with the spring equinox, or 20th, depending on where you are, uh, it is the beginning of a new year. So I'm going to put here North Node placements and try to, so that way, and if you need your chart to figure out where your North Node is, hopefully they're reasonably done at lionmountainhealing.com. Thanks to Scorpio Moon. The Mercury Jupiter transit will trine. Oh, wow. That's really cool. You could have the trip of a lifetime. Trip of a
Yes,
lifetime.
AK. Where are you at? Are you in the United States or are you else abroad?
Oh, Um, oh man, that you need to, wow, that's the energy for, graduating with a doctorate, starting a school to teach what you've learned. Um, can you see also it as well? Can you
Yeah,
also?
we've been seeing it.
Yeah, I'm a little, I feel weird now.
Mhm.
So
Oh, okay. Yeah, Shabaka is making a move. Violet rays.
I
Mm.
think we didn't that come up in your chart, Chewbacca, that you could be moving. I
Yeah.
could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Disco tech party. Yeah.
I love disco. We need to bring disco back. Of all the trends coming back, disco needs to come back.
I like the bell bottom jeans myself back in the day.
The hip huggers.
Yeah, that flowy like clothes.
So let's see the rest of the weekend before the new moon. We've got Leo. We have a Leo moon. Let's see, starting in this morning, the moon went into Leo, and it doesn't go into Virgo until late Sunday night. So while the moon is in Leo, it is making a trine to Jupiter in Aries. Again, a very fortuitous kind of energy. It's fire, it gets things going. If you've been languishing about taking care of something, that's the energy to spark movement. Um, Leo trine Mercury in Aries, you could receive some very fortuitous communications. You might get a positive response on a job application. If there's somebody you've been wanting to ask out and you felt too shy, which is Leo, this energy would give you the confidence, go ask that person out for coffee. What have you got to lose,
Really for coffee? What? I was kind of in a daze until I heard that. Like,
My natal sun is a square with the moon. So you put a lot of pressure on yourself. So the thing to remember about a square between your sun and moon is that you're in control of that stress, that it's not someone putting it on you, but that's just putting a lot of stress on yourself. Hope that helps. So maybe you're going to move and have better neighbors, Shabaka. A lot of energy surrounding the concept of neighbors, aunts and uncles. That's that mercurial energy, communications maybe from some past cousin or sibling. Okay. All right. Well, how about some cards?
okay, yeah, sure. Okay, so I guess we're gonna start off with Aries, right?
We always start with Aries, the
Okay.
child. I did want to mention something too with these planets moving into Aries. Um, in my little neck of the woods, this huge, beautiful woodpecker. I mean, this woodpecker, he has the strangest call and he's huge. He's huge. And he has that red cone on the top of his head and his wingspan. He's this big woodpecker. And he's been around in the trees lately, I'd say for a week or so. And I read that, woodpeckers, they have like a Morse code. That's what they're pecking into the tree. It's a
Mm-hmm.
language that tells them, okay, remember here I found water, or remember here I got, good bugs, or whatever it is. It's good for their hunting. Well, there's a book by Tom Robbins called Still Life with Woodpecker. And whenever I see that woodpecker, I think of that book. And that book, um, yes, white lines on his black color. Yes, he's beautiful. And that reminder notice, and I'm imparting it with our group, is it's never too late to have a happy second childhood. So we are all probably bonded to the twin flame journey, which is what has brought us together by trauma in the childhood. And we're helping each other heal that little girl or little boy uh, by no judgment and being safe to talk about our pain. But it's time for us to remember, and especially with planets lining up in Aries as we get into spring, we can always have a happy second childhood. So, walking barefoot out in the rain, um, digging out in the dirt, you know, those things that you were always scolded about doing, you know, don't eat dessert first. You're going to ruin your dinner.
Mm.
Well, go ahead and eat dessert first, right?
Well, eating those cookies.
I do that all the time. I had a dentist say, well, you eat the sweet stuff first because your food will get the sugar off of your teeth. I go with that. That works.
Okay.
So, so yeah, I had to say that, you know, it's never too late to have a happy second childhood. It's very important.
And plus, whenever you have that childlike nostalgia feeling, that could lead to like new opportunities and
Yes.
possibilities for love and
Yes.
romance, and
Yes.
get you in that right
Yes.
energy.
Yes. Yes. So much wisdom.
All right. So,
Okay, Aries, what is the Virgo full moon have in store for you? That's our question. Aries and the Virgo full moon. That is fire and earth, so that could be a little bit of a struggle.
well, I have here Taurus, which is the Hierophant.
And I have Sagittarius, which it's about expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's earth and fire. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe this is a time to really look to, I don't know, like opening up to learn new things.
Well, Venus is moving into Taurus here in the next few days, and the Hierophant is about wisdom. Fire is about controlling any compulsive ideas. Aries can be very headstrong. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say Aries to tap into their um, patient. Their I know Aries don't like to be patient, but this is a time for Aries to be patient. Think in the higher mind, which is Sagittarius. Do something beautifying for yourself. The Taurus, the bull, you know, he likes just kind of languishing around under a tree with a lemonade. So for the full moon, if Aries could take a little R and yeah, just lay low,
Yeah.
Aries.
Aries is like, what?
Yeah, Aries be like, you crazy.
He's like, I want to go out and play. Like,
0 degree Saturn in the 12th house. Whoa, that is pretty intense. I would say that that has been the wise old sage and teacher many, 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 many lifetimes. That in this lifetime, you're to impart your um, wisdom on others. And with a Gemini ascendant, that would also support being a teacher to communicate your wisdom um, onto others. So you're here to circulate ancient wisdoms, is what I get from that. And
that
thank you.
sounds
I appreciate
interesting.
that. It's been a rough week. There hasn't been anything nice about the energy around my week.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh out loud, but yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of got the inside
yeah,
tip on that.
it's been a challenge. The honeymoon is over.
Yeah, here
Yeah,
comes reality.
yeah, reality hits.
I know, and then as I said that, here's Pisces with the full moon.
Oh, great. And then I have second house, which is resources. So for Taurus, which is money and banking and financing, and Pisces, you may see money coming you weren't expecting.
Hmm.
Oh, I love that card. The
Isn't it?
Wolf Moon.
Mm-hmm.
So Wolf is the teacher. So maybe Taurus is going to learn something about their finances.
Yeah, like grounding your ideas and possibly, putting your money into it and going for it.
I
So
like
instead of like, maybe thinking about it, sitting back, but then, putting the investment behind it, because I know that whenever Taurus, they put their mind to something and they believe in it,
it's done. And
it's
look,
a done deal.
these are piles of coins.
Yeah. So whatever business venture or idea that you have, I would say now's a good time to start manifesting that idea.
So Vesta on the midheaven would be uh, Vesta is the Vestal Virgins. It's a very Virgo like energy. So your profession would be in healthcare. I would say you could be like you're at that in that part of society about teaching ancient medicine, holistic medicine. The 10th house is where we do our profession. So you may, during this full moon, have an opportunity to work different places. I'm getting like a mobile, holistic healer teacher. Does that make any sense? Capricorn Sun, you're a workaholic, going to work a lot.
I know she kind of sounds like me.
Okay, all of it adds up to healer. If I had to say one word for everything you've said here, Saturn in the 12th house, Capricorn Sun, and Vesta on the midheaven, you're a healer.
So
Here
maybe that's something to explore if you're not into it right now.
is my deluxe.
Okay, well, next we have Gemini.
What are you saying, Shabaka? Red. And
Dyslexia, Fred, Vespa, and I was wondering why a motorcycle club had anything to do with this.
I love it. Well, maybe somebody's thinking about joining a motorcycle club or learning how to drive a motorcycle.
That
And
could be you, Shabaka, you in the big city,
North Node
running
and
around on
Aquarius again supports being a healer and an astrologer. Aquarius rules astrology. North Node, you're destined to be an astrologer. How about that? In Gemini, what have you got?
I have the magician, which is Gemini.
This says debilitated discomfort.
Oh, maybe discomfort and manifesting. So, what's on your mind?
Tired. I get tired. Gemini, Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury is in the midst of changing sign and hooking up between the sun and Venus. That's exhausting.
Yeah, I see that there's a bunch of different elements here on this particular card, and maybe it's just too much. Maybe you just need to take a break, at least for the full moon.
Yeah. Have a lazy weekend, Gemini.
Yeah, don't try to do too much and then enjoy the rest of the month.
And I don't know if the number 14 is significant to anyone, and it's a Gemini. That would be a 5, which is change.
Mhm.
Maybe Gemini's feeling uncomfortable about making a change.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Mhm.
Okay, I'm a Pisces and my ex is a Taurus. Oh, he left. Oh, isn't that something? The wolves. He has a husky. Oh, that is so interesting.
Yeah, and this is being understood.
You need to write it down, take notes, expand on that. That's Pisces and Taurus. Left for an Aries.
That sucks though.
And it does.
Um, well,
But
Taurus,
you'll get your justice. You'll get your, you know, you're going to get so much better than what that Taurus could ever have given you.
yeah, I'm getting like I'm not getting like any kind of strong connection between that Taurus and Aries anyway.
Me either. Yeah, that's just like a splash in the pan thing.
Yeah. All right. So next we have Cancer.
Let's see, we have Mars moving into Cancer this month, and Mars is not crazy about being in Cancer because, Cancer is nurturing and ooey gooey, and Mars is,
Manly.
yeah, masculine, aggressive fire, splash in the pants. That's right, Chewbacca. So, as Mars goes into Cancer, that's frustration. That's an exasperated feeling.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have 8 of fire, Mercury, and Sag.
And I have Neptune vision.
Hmm.
So this is about using your psychic faculty, um, because Mars in Cancer is exasperating. So you have to navigate with your psychic ability and not get drawn into the 3D exasperation.
I'm also picking up like if there was any kind of confrontation between you and someone else. Remember, you were telling the collective that if someone wanted to pick uh, a bone with you or something, just to kind of transmute that energy and kind of see the bigger picture. Why is that person angry? And how could you change that that's coming towards you? So I feel like it's going to come out quickly. So try not
Uh,
to take it to heart.
so Mars enters the sign of Cancer. So it would be a change of sign, not a conjunction. Definitely disco. Yeah. Disco this way and disco that way. Yeah. Yeah. Whenever you need to lift your spirit, just put on some old Donna Summer or who
I'll,
else was who else was a famous disco artist? Uh,
um,
Donna Summer. Um, gosh, I should know this. I want to say Earth, Wind, and Fire, but I guess they weren't really disco.
yeah, but they were kind of in that era around that time.
Yeah, upbeat music for sure. There
Hmm.
was one called Geraldine Hunt that nobody would know. Then there were the Bee Gees, Saturday Night Live, and all the Staying Alive, and
Hmm. Yeah, my son loves the Bee Gees, by the way.
really
Yeah, he does.
Black
That's
Betty. Yeah, yeah. Mars will be conjunct my natal Saturn in Cancer. What can I expect? Hmm. Saturn and Mars in Cancer. That's an exasperated energy. That's trying to nurture the angry, something that made you angry, getting nurtured. honoring the anger and then blessing and letting it go. Putting
Mhm.
that Saturn wisdom to the Mars temper. Like Mars can be very pipe off, like spontaneous arguing. Saturn is slow and wise. So I would say with Mars conjunct Saturn, recognizing that sudden propensity to be angry. We just use road rage for an example. You're in a car, somebody tries to cut you off, you want to pipe off and be angry, but Saturn says, be wise soul, put your foot on the brake, slow down, let the jerk go on. So, yeah, so that's just slow down. That's an exasperating feeling. So, you just got to slow down with that. Venus North Node, square Uranus transit. Well, oof. Suddenly meeting the love of your life. That's what that is. Totally unexpected, totally unconventional, not the type you would normally go for. I love the Dancing Queen, only 17, yeah.
Interesting. So, for Leo, I have the sun.
Leo, I have sensitive Pisces.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I'm noticing a trend here is we're getting a lot of elements, fire and water, uh, fire and earth. Those elements exasperate each other. This is when, if you try to put too much energy in one direction too quickly, you burn yourself out. So
Hmm.
it seems like consistently, maybe the message for all of us in March is to just try to slow down and be more observant as opposed to reactive.
I would have to agree because the sun is shining light on the sensitivity of
Yeah,
yourself, like Leo, and try not to be so hard on yourself. If you're trying to maybe look a certain way, or I don't know, but I would say just go get a petty. And relax, and then
well, if you take the fire and the water, so water um, puts out fire, saturates fire.
mhm.
Fire dehydrates water. So the key is balance, right? Finding the balance, which usually does mean slowing down, not getting anxiety over your task list.
Yeah, and take a bath, like, that's what I was thinking.
Smell
Yeah,
good. Put some perfume on.
just take a bath, it's gonna be all right, because you can warm up your bathtub or, the petty, and it's gonna be bubbly, and then you can feel good
I
at the
like
same
that.
time, and it'll be
I
all
like
right.
that a lot.
Yeah.
You're giving me permission to go get a pedicure this weekend.
Yeah, because I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, you know what? We should coordinate our coordinates and be doing it at the same time. I bet that'll make it even better.
Okay, yeah, let me know when. Water kills fire? No way, yeah. Or vice versa. Yuriko says steam, yeah.
Oh, you're so kind. I'm a reflection of you. That's right. When you have balance between fire and water, you got steam. And what
Mhm.
does steam do? It moves the engine, it gets stuff done.
That's
But
a good way of putting it.
it's
Like,
got to be in the right balance. That's the key.
hmm
That's like relationships between fire sign people and water sign people is, When you strike that perfect balance, it is incredible. But it's keeping that balance so that one doesn't, dehydrate or take the identification of the other one, or the water doesn't completely, you know, put out Leo's fire. Leo needs to be creative and active, and water can be passive, and so that's the balance. I'm trying to keep that balance is very. Oh, we've got Virgo, which is our full moon that we're
Yeah.
talking about tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have Mercury with the Magician again.
Oh, I have moon, and we have a full moon perception.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's about manifesting.
wow.
Virgo, are you thinking about doing something finally? Like, sorry.
I was thinking that balance between what's practical and what's spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So Virgos like to make lists of lists.
Yeah, that's true.
This might mean like chilling out a little bit and not being so drilled into the list. The moon is about psychic ability, going on instinct. Mercury is communication. So maybe the Virgo full moon for Virgo is an opportunity to be more psychic and not as practical. Say your list says, I need to cut the grass this weekend. That's the practical thing to do. But then a friend calls and says, come get a pedicure with me. And that's
Mhm.
totally impractical. But you do it anyway because psychically you feel like that's food for the soul. Your feet need to be soaked.
Yeah, because it's all about the feet, right? Just
Pisces is, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
go ahead, dip your toes in. Make sure you get them serviced. Just saying, because I've noticed my feet are rough, man. I need I need a good
You
scrub
need
down there.
attention. Hey, have you seen the that the little fish at some of these salons? You put your feet in them, and there's little fish that eat off your.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your dead skin. Yeah.
I think that would drive me crazy.
Well, yeah, poor fish. They're gonna eat like humans' dead
Yeah.
skin. Like that's gross. Like,
Yes.
but yeah, I know it's a thing. My twin was actually in Okinawa, and he went to a place where you could dip your feet into the pond. It's
Oh
like an inside
gosh,
pond, and the fish were eating the feet. I was
that
like, oh.
that makes me crazy to think about it. So we're talking about Saturn. I was going to give you the retrograde date since you brought it up. So Saturn does not go retrograde. It's direct now, and it goes retrograde on June the 17th. It will have made it to 7 degrees of Pisces. It will
Hmm.
remain retrograde until November the 3rd. So when you're looking at retrograde and direct planets, you look at the degree it went retrograde. So it went retrograde at 1 degree Pisces. So after it goes direct in November, when does it get back to 1 degree Pisces? And that is actually more like Thanksgiving, the 29th of November. So that's why when we look at Mercury, that shadow period, and while I'm looking at this, I'll again just get some information out there. People can make a note. Mercury goes retrograde on April 21st and then goes direct on May the 15th. but doesn't get back to the degree that it went retrograde, which is 15 of Taurus. I know, I feel like I'm talking too much, until June 1st. So if you're planning on different trips or things, there's your Mercury retrograde. Imagine a huge, I don't want to imagine that. That doesn't do a thing for me.
I know. I was like, wow, what a visual. Like a koi sucking on a big toe. Oh, gross.
Oh my goodness. So we have
Definitely better than a catfish.
right.
Sorry. Oh my God. Shabaka, you're something else, man.
All right, now help me remember. What does it mean again? Catfish in dating. Doesn't that mean they try to lure you?
Oh, yeah. It's like a copycat.
Catfish.
Yeah, being catfish is like, being like, going for like a dupe. Someone that acts like somebody, like a fake profile.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, like, if you see like a picture of a handsome man or woman, they pretend to be that individual.
And they're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I've heard that term. I wasn't sure what it meant.
Yes, ma'am.
I was looking here at Libra. Oh, okay. Um, so Libra, I've got dignified strength.
Okay, I have King of Water, which is King of Cups. So water or fire.
So what's interesting about this is, so Aries is opposite Libra, and as Venus and Jupiter hold hands in Aries, and the Sun in a couple of weeks moves into Aries opposite Libra. Oppositions is when chapters in your life can change. So Libra may be getting ready to meet something that brings a lot of emotional strength and I want to say gratitude.
Yeah, and I
I don't,
feel like a passion for love, being more open to be expressive of feelings.
um, yeah, dignified and it's a strength. So I think Libra might be moving into an opportunity to make substantial change, positive change. You know, Libra's famous for procrastinating.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they make a decision about something here that's drained a lot of emotion.
You mean finally? Just like Virgo? No, I'm playing.
Well, the difference is that Virgo procrastinates because they're waiting for it to be perfect. Libra procrastinates because they're gathering all the facts to make sure they make a balanced and fair decision.
I say they're one and the same. They're kind of like borderline, like.
Leo moon. Leo moon is the hopeless romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it can be a little prideful, but I have to leave. Oh, well, I would say use your gut instinct. That's me. Libra stellium. Yes, but I bet you're beautiful. Libra is that it's Venetian. It's ruled by Venus, so it's a very goddess-like energy. Libra, men and women have a natural beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Not that all signs aren't beautiful in their own way, so not to offend anyone.
Yeah, they're just more, you can tell.
They have more of a
I would say more of a polished.
oh shit. Excuse me.
You're okay, honey. You need a
Yeah.
massage.
I know. Yeah, I need that too. My head gets in a spasm. That's Sagittarius. So
Oh,
trying to
sorry.
move forward in my life, and my hip is goes into a spasm. So
I was choking on my water earlier. I was like, damn.
what do you need to say?
Oh,
Okay, so Scorpio, I'm getting South Node, the past.
okay. And I have 9 of air, Mars, and Gemini. Interesting.
Mm, wow. So
Something about the past.
I would say two people about the past.
mm.
Gemini, the twins.
Look at that look on her face. She's like, oh my God. Like,
She's
what?
miserable.
Yeah, what's going on, honey?
Oh gosh. South Node is the place where we're comfortable because it's very familiar, which doesn't necessarily support soul growth. It's the North Node that we reach for that helps us evolve spiritually. So maybe I get from her expression like she screwed up going back to somebody from her past that didn't change or was fickle. Gemini can be very fickle.
mm-hmm.
They do things in twos. So, like a really typical interpretation of this would be uh, seeing a Gemini and them having another person in their life too. Yeah.
Mm. That sounds like a Scorpio.
A secret person.
Yeah, Scorpio. Yeah, working on that south node. Like,
Yeah.
it's like what's that? So, in the next live, we're gonna figure out Scorpio's north node, right?
Yeah. You know, I want to say that in Scorpio men, at least, there's that dark veil that they don't want anyone to get behind.
Mm-hmm.
And that can make them very Gemini like, very fickle like, because they never really want to be vulnerable to expose themselves.
I think that sounds about right.
Hey, Cam, I don't want to hear that kind of talk. You are not. No, I feel like you don't. No way, Jose. Cancel clear. I want you to take that sentence you just typed and do Alt Control Delete. Don't ever think of that again.
With
That's that.
who?
Yeah, that old story. Don't carry that with you.
You mean can't let go of the past?
I screwed up. I feel like I always screw up. Yeah.
That's okay, honey. I mean, shoot, sometimes we can't delete it, but try the best you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
I'm there right with you.
We have to just accept whatever choices we made, good, bad, or indifferent, and not carry that energy forward. This is the time to, you know,
Move forward.
let the backpack off your back, right?
Yeah, it's too heavy. All right, so maybe Sag can tell Scorpio what to do. Like,
Yeah.
Sag wants to go out there and
And
do.
take a trip.
Yeah,
Oh, this is so interesting.
I'll take your backpack.
Yeah. This is so interesting because you said that, and then Scorpio rules the eighth house. You're using the eighth house deck,
Oh, the mystery.
and it says mystery for Sag.
Maybe Sag took the backpack and looked into Scorpio's world and was like, what is this? Like, what's in Scorpio's backpack? And I have 7 of Earth, which is Saturn and Taurus.
Saturn. Okay. So what's Sag doing here?
I don't know. There's mystery. Getting
They
your
love your
hands
freedom.
dirty. Like, are you digging up
dead bodies.
Oh, God. Forensic. Maybe they're going to do a marathon weekend of watching Forensic Files.
Yeah, the X Files,
Yeah.
doing that third eye, I don't know, remote viewing stuff and seeing like what's going on. Man, because the seven of Earth is the seven of Pentacles, and that's like, you know, um, really making plans, like getting your hands dirty, I guess, to get to the Ten of Pentacles, and with Taurus ruling the money aspect. Um, yeah, maybe you're looking for a new job, I don't know.
Well, and eighth house is also other people's money. Like if someone invests in you or invests in a project you want to do.
Hmm. Okay, or maybe going for like putting in a proposal to get funding,
Yeah. A
a project.
bid,
That sounds,
very literally an auction.
yeah,
Maybe you find what you've been looking for at an auction and nobody bids on it, so you get a really good deal.
yeah. So get with a Taurus. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next is Capricorn. Well, maybe it's Capricorn, right?
Yeah, we've had a lot of Capricorn energy between Saturn and Pluto for like 3 years. It's been rough.
Yeah,
And
there might be still some juice left in Capricorn.
yeah, that's the workaholic of the zodiac.
Hmm. Yeah, this Capricorn needs a break, though. I
Yeah.
know. I think that's why I like the shift of energies. It's like, okay, honey, you need to just chill out for at least for this 11 weeks. Like,
Well, and also the full moon would be making a trine to the Capricorn sun, which is very positive. It's an easy energy.
hmm.
So get lucky, buy a lottery ticket. I won $10 on a scratch off ticket recently.
Oh, awesome.
I know.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe that's what I'll do this weekend.
What have
Uh,
you got there?
I have two of Earth, and it says Jupiter in Capricorn.
Wow, this is weird. This says Scorpio, investigate.
Oh, wow, that is weird. Hmm.
So, Capricorn, investigate new ways to,
Expand. Like,
yeah, like new job opportunities or,
hmm. Like
uh,
maybe like doing two different jobs. Maybe that's another thing.
and doing a job that involves investigation,
Now that is awesome. I would love that.
like fraud, investigating, what do I want to say? Digital fraud or uh, ID. What is it called when they steal the ID?
What, identity theft?
Identity theft
Mhm.
investigation.
There is a certification you can get for
Please don't apologize, Kim. You're fine. We're just here to
cyber.
try to help each other stop thinking negative things about ourselves.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Oh, I don't know. I have to keep toggling back and forth to read what people are
I know.
saying.
Well, it's very chatty tonight. Very chatty.
Well, what's up with this energy? I mean, it's
I know.
Virgo. But
Well,
Virgo is not a
we're
chatty
in
person.
we're in Cancer until our moon's in Cancer.
So maybe more
Oh, no, no, no,
emotional.
no, no, no. This morning the moon went into Leo, so that's yeah, so
Oh,
fire. So we're all like fired up a
fired
little.
up and ready for action.
That's probably why I feel so chatty. I am a Leo, and I'm just like feel like I'm.
Talking away.
There's a voice in my head going, "Enough now. Be quiet."
All right. So next we have Aquarius.
Yeah, what was that song about? Did Whitney Houston do it? Emotional. Get emotional. What was that song?
I get so
Emotional.
emotional, baby, every time I think of you.
Yeah, that was a good song.
Yeah, I used to love Whitney Houston, like that one album that she had. And then I
Just
got into like metal.
incredible talent.
Yeah, she can sing. Um,
That was so
Aquarius.
sad about her daughter.
Yeah, but then she ended up kind of weird.
Yeah,
And I saw that thing with Bobby Brown,
yeah,
how there was like psychics that were channeling her.
yeah. I
Uh,
saw that.
yeah, I did too, and I thought that was really amazing that
He got pretty emotional.
he got emotional, but then Whitney approved of his new woman,
Yeah.
which was kind of like, she was like, "Yes, it's okay. I
Look,
approve."
just the thing you do when you're in spirit, right? You know,
Yeah. Yeah, well, what can you do? You can all you can do is just be supportive, or maybe if it's the wrong one, then you can maybe enter, pass a message down. But
all right, Aquarius, you've got that Gemini thing,
Mars,
North Gemini. I got Capricorn. So Aquarius, this says achieve. All right, so we got Pluto getting ready to go into Aquarius. So Pluto has been in Capricorn, which has been kind of hard.
mm-hmm. And with
Moving
this,
moving into Aquarius, this is very interesting. I want to feel like Aquarians, on the one hand, will be in their element because of all the metaphysical and space travel and UFO information. But on another hand, I also feel like something is going to put them to work. Because this Mars and Gemini and Capricorn certainly is about work and hard work.
well, I think that's the thing. Aquarius have been really hard at work to manifest whatever that they've been working on, but sometimes they get in their head and they probably like maybe self sabotage themselves from
Right.
achieving those things. So I would say just be gentle to yourself, Aquarius. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
You can achieve it. Just, take a break too. You'll be
Yeah.
okay. Sleep on it.
Get a pedicure.
Yeah. So next we have Pisces.
That's so funny about the printer. Oh, it's got a little message here for me. That is just weird. Oh, my cards are. What are we doing now? We have Pisces.
Mm-hmm. Final
At the
sign.
end, we're in the 12th house at the feet, and we keep talking about pedicures. So,
Oh wow. I have Capricorn.
uh-oh. And
I
I
know.
have, I like this, Chiron, heal.
I'll heal the devil within you.
This is really interesting for all these planets piling up in Pisces. I would say this is the total message to all of us. The devil and Chiron. This is healing the devil within.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can see that. And I don't know, like,
Wow. This is intense. This is intense. For all the five planets piling up in Pisces, and we get the devil and
mhm.
Chiron. First off, these are major, major uh, planets and cards.
Yeah. I was just trying to feel because my brother's birthday is like a few days from now.
Yeah. My email is lionmountainhealing@gmail.com.
Going to look you. Oh, okay.
Lionmountainhealing@gmail.com. All right, let's see. This is so interesting. The devil and Chiron. Because the devil is, the ego part of us that maybe influences us not making great judgment all the time or making decisions out of pride. And Chiron is the healer and more of that wise sage that we know better. And so it's like the devil on a shoulder and the angel on the shoulder, and yeah, maybe we're going to be confronted with making those kinds of decisions. We know better. Do we repeat a behavior pattern, or do we know better and we decide to go in a new way?
I don't know. I really feel that. It's like, which way do you go or do you stay neutral?
Right.
But yeah, I'm like really trying to figure out because, um,
That's a very interesting combination.
the thing is that recently my brother communicated to my mother secretly
Oh,
without, yeah, but it's like we're in a group chat. And so we always get on at the same time, but he made a secret connection with my mom the other day and I saw it. I was like, what are they talking about? I don't know. My brother is really sneaky. So that's why I was like, is that the devil?
hmm.
Like, what is he wanting? I know it's his birthday, but like, I think he wants something more because he knows how to manipulate sometimes. And so my mom's a Virgo. He's Pisces, so
Interesting.
that's why I was like trying to figure it out. Like, what? And then here's me
I
with
think
the,
it's money.
oh, obviously. But like I said, like there is like some property
Well,
changes. And
maybe the opportunity will come up for you to ask either or both of them what was so secret.
nah, because my mom knows I'm not into that because I know my brother. He always try to get his way with her. I know what it is. So he's been wanting a cabin in Alaska
Wow.
and he wants to turn it into an Airbnb.
Wow.
And, my mom is all about money. So he's sending her messages about what a great idea it would be to have an Airbnb in Alaska. And I'm like, the only person that wants to be in Alaska is my brother and my mom. I was like, you guys go ahead. I said, I live in Washington. That's close enough, but my brother likes to hunt and he likes that whole like being in ice and snow. And I was like, well, why are you in Arizona? You know, but anyway, so
So, JK, Jupiter Venus conjunction 12 degrees in Aries, 11th house. And we're coming up on a Jupiter Venus conjunction at 10 degrees. So, 11th house is friends, associations, and true love. My first thought was you may be approached to be the leader of like a homeowners association or a group of some club of a hobby, or lead an astrology group, uh, Venus in the ninth house, lead a group about spirituality or spiritual tools. I get from that it's a leadership role in a group or association or even just a group of friends. But while we're on the 11th house, um, typically in astrology, marriage and love is designated to the seventh house of Libra, but ancient astrologers believed it to be the 11th house, which is the Aquarian house, as true love, true, pure love. So when I see,
7-Eleven, sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Jupiter, Venus in the 11th house, uh, making connection with Jupiter, Venus within 2 degrees as it is in heaven now, is definitely the opportunity to make very significant connections. So I would take every invitation that you could get, maybe even make some invitations. If you've been thinking about, you know, having a little soiree or just meeting up with a couple of old friends, it's getting with friends. It's getting with like-minded people and sharing your thoughts and interests, like interests. Say you, okay, Jupiter, Venus, that would be going to one of those, you know, you drink wine and you paint a picture, those group things. What's it called? Paint and drink, or
Wine and art.
wine and art. Yeah. So Venus is all about art. Um, oh, I could go all over the place with that. Around here, they give these parties at an art gallery or art openings. I'd look for art openings in your area and make sure I was at one of them. Do your art. That'd be another thing. Just do your art. If you're an artist and you've been shy about sharing your art, approach some galleries about putting your art on display.
Hmm. And you can get to know the local art in your community.
Community.
Yeah,
Look at what Shivaka says. The worst serial killers are
I know. I don't know, Shabaka, I think you have
oh
some
my
Gemini
gosh.
in you. Like, she knows a lot of everything.
Oh my gosh. Yes, sip and paint. That's what it is. I did one of those once, and the girl I went with got absolutely trashed.
Oh, yeah. So, Shabaka, yeah, they're in Korea now. And apparently they're doing okay because I haven't heard from my dad since.
Got rid of the cousin, right?
Well, the cousin is driving my dad now. So he's a backseat driver.
Oh,
I think it was just like while he was in his home, like in his island, he was like being like the one, like, hey, can we go this and there? And he's trying to like enjoy his little time because there's only like 1 month there and like potentially 11 months in Korea. Yeah.
and when are they thinking about coming back?
Well, the intention is so that my mom can get dual citizenship, so that could take up to 6 months to a year. So it really depends, but also it depends on the people who are um, that made the purchase on the home.
Oh,
Uh, so
right.
my mom made an agreement with them that they could, delay payments for a couple months, but after that, I mean, she has money come in from other properties, but um, you know, sh- she has to kick them out if they're not going to pay. So she'll have to come back to the United States. Korea doesn't allow double citizenship. Mm, I don't know about that because my mom was talking all about it.
Maybe
So
she should look into that.
yeah, or is that just for foreigners? Yeah, my mom's originally from Korea, so she got her American citizenship, um, and then now she's going back. So I don't know
Did
how
she
that works.
maintain her Korean citizen? Do you maintain your Korean citizenship?
No, I think you have to travel to Korea to check in.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so, um, but I don't know. I don't know.
I
So,
always get those feeds in my YouTube thing for Korean street food.
oh yeah,
It's
that's
like
the
they have some really
best.
great street food.
I know. That's all Koreans do is eat. That's why I told my mom, say she makes us fat because we're always eating food. And like in Korea, all they do is like they serve like side dishes, and then they have like the main course, but you share that main course with other people. So that's why we always have like extras.
And they show a lot of sweets.
Oh, if you wanted to move to Korea, you would have to give up yours. That sucks. I don't know how my mom's doing it, but I think it's because she's native. You know, I don't know. So yeah, that's it. So does anyone have any other questions for Sunny?
We've been quite chatty tonight.
Mm-hmm.
A lot going on. I wonder how we'll be feeling in April after all of these planets have firmly gotten into their new
I think we
signs.
go back to crap, and then we're like, oh, not this again.
I hope
Oh.
not. I hope that we see some real forward moving positive growth and energy in areas of spirituality and metaphysics. I
Well,
think
yeah, I think that
that's
will continue
ideal.
on until like the coming year, the next year. But
Vindicated, vindicated for being a little different. Aquarius loves the unconventional, and we've all been unconventional all our lives. So this shift should bring some kind of redemption to those of us that have been considered crazy all this time.
so we think, we hope.
Yeah.
Hopefully in this city. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that there's big changes for me in April too, Shabaka. Like I have like something going on myself. I would actually be on the mountain if I take the place I'm visiting Monday. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds wonderful. Oh, my doggy.
Oh, so that's good air up in the mountains. Nice fresh air away from the city.
Oh, she waited long enough.
Aw, she's got her little jacket on.
Her harness.
Aw, getting to be a good big girl.
I know. Hey, honey, say hi.
Hey, Luna, Luna,
Luna, Luna,
what are
look.
you doing? What are you doing, girl?
He's like
What's
rolling.
Luna doing? You sure are pretty. Pretty
Oh,
girl. Where's your dinosaur?
oh
Huh?
God, don't talk about that
Where's
one.
your dinosaur?
Oh, that slobber thing. Yeah, I got it up there, kind of high up. I only give it to her when I feel like I'm nice. And then I take it away from her again. It's like a volcano more than anything. Oh, I have one of those, Shabaka. I live right next to what is that place called? Mount Shasta. I mean, not Mount Shasta, but where do I live next to?
Does it start with a P?
Now I got a brain fart. What is that big? They call it salty up here. Wash, and I want to say Mount Hood, but that's not it. That's in Oregon. Washing.
Volcano in
What?
Washington. I was going to try to look it up.
Let me open the map here. Oh, Mount Rainier. Sorry,
Right.
I I had a brain fart. Oh my god.
Let's see. I was going to try to take a picture of this for you. I don't know if you can read it. You're going to have to let me know if you can read it.
Okay, you waiting for me, honey? Wow, did you see that? There's like this glowy thing around you. Or I don't know. There's like something reflecting in your room.
No, I don't know what's going on. It definitely feels something weird going on.
Luna,
Oops.
she looks like she's thirsty. Jesus, are you thirsty?
This says clean my lens for a clearer picture.
Oops, I didn't mean to show her little girl parts. Here, Here, let's take this off because I know you're done to get this thing off. Oh, now here's your use. Are you
Let's
okay?
see. That is weird. Something's weird about the light on my camera.
Mm,
Gosh.
hey, honey. Here, go get some water. Man, you look like you thirsty. Right
I
here.
think I have to wait till that light is off. It's being weird. I can't get a good focus on it.
Yeah, just whenever you have time.
I thought about bringing my boys up here. They're so cute.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while.
I know.
Oh, oh my goodness. Tech party. Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Angels. Yeah, maybe the angels
Angels
are around
amongst
you.
us. Yeah. We all do. That's a great song. Maybe that's the song for our full moon. What was that? Was it called Emotional? Wasn't it called Emotional?
Emotions, maybe.
Listen to her.
I know.
All right, let's see. Wasn't that Whitney Houston?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to designate the song for the weekend. I'm going to make sure I get the title right. Okay, Whitney Houston. Oh, it's called So Emotional.
Oh, so emotional. Okay.
Oh, all about the heartbeat, right? Connecting to our heart, getting out of the monkey mind. Yeah.
You spin me round, round, baby, round,
Yeah.
round, like a
Uh-huh.
that's a different person.
Ain't it shocking what love can do? That was part of it. Ain't it shocking what love can do? Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, we've tried to impart as best we can, right?
yeah, so yeah, thank you, Sonny, for being
Thank
here with us.
you.
And
Thank you.
and then whenever I receive that information, I'll try to post it up to the community
So,
feed. And yeah, you guys should really watch Doctor Sleep. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna be watching Netflix this weekend. I've been watching something called In the Dark. I'm like binge watch that. And then I started watching Outer Banks, which is originally where I'm from, like around that area, the Outer Banks. And but it's a little bit different. I only watched like the first episode of that
is
one.
it set in that area?
Well, yeah, I mean that's what it looks like.
Wow.
But you know what? The people, they don't even have that Carolina accent. They're just talking normal. And I'm like, well, if you want to get real with the Outer Banks, you got to have like, the lingo. But, it's just like any kind of like, you know, movie, they just have like normal talking actors and actresses and stuff. So,
So an Aquarius North node is destined to be unconventional and very individualistic, very creative, going outside of the lines.
so where is Dr. Sleep at, Shabaka? Is that on Netflix? There's just so much to watch. What in the heck is she chewing on?
I'm trying to think. I have so many chores. I get overwhelmed. I don't know what I'll get into. I need to work on my Etsy shop. I've got bunches of stuff photographed that need to sit down and upload it. I started having an issue with uploading. I think the storage or something was acting weird.
That's a funny thing. I need to go into my storage and look and recover some old papers.
There you go. We're in tech land.
Well, that's not so tech. I'm going dino right now. Then whenever I do find it, I can digitize it.
I see. Okay.
Hmm.
And I have papers, boxes of papers I need to haul out of here and shred or something. They're no longer relevant.
Yeah, I actually purchased a shredder this summer, and I cleaned out a lot of old papers from more than 10 years ago.
You know, that shredded paper makes very good mulch. And you're in, like, if you have some flower, weren't you doing some container gardening?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
makes really good mulch.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
okay.
put some down, a little bit of potting soil on top, and after a few months, it just breaks down and makes really rich compost for your
Oh,
garden.
well, that's a good thing to know. Yeah,
Gets
thanks.
rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like recycle. There has been a few M class and X class flares on the sun. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The sun's been very active with solar flares and a lot of history making events going on around us, gang.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, lionmountainhealing.com. Okay, so any other questions before we go?
I hope everyone has a good weekend. The full moon is technically on Tuesday, early morning. So we're moving into the fullness of the moon. And then 7th, 8th, and 9th will be square in it.
So next week is it.
Yeah. Time of completion. Anything you started on the new moon, you might be resolving next week.
Well, that sounds good. I hope I get some good news this week.
So it's Lion Mountain Healing at gmail.com.
Mhm. Should I put that in the well, next time we're going to do
Well,
some
it's on lionmountainhealing.com. You know, when you do contact Sunny or whatever,
Mhm.
that's where it comes through, is my email address.
Mhm. And also visit her Etsy shop too.
I've got to work on that.
Yeah, but you still have like a good number of stuff up there, right?
I sold a little fox.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, thank you, Sunny, for being here with us this day.
Thank
And
you,
I hope
Scorpio Moon.
you're welcome. And I really hope everyone else here enjoyed it. And FYI to my loyal people, um, we're going to be moving over to a different platform. So, I don't know how this transition might work. We might still stay on the platform for a little bit until we get it perfect before we go all in on the new one. But I just wanted to share that a little bit with you all.
We're
So
getting techie.
yes, exploring new technologies like AI.
Yeah.
And you
But we're
guys will
keeping
be
it real, yo. Keeping it real.
yeah. Yeah, we're trying to stay with the times here. Where? Well, right here. We ain't going anywhere. We're just still digital. So yeah, but it might look a little bit different, at least for us as we're looking at it from this perspective, or, how we're handling it. But for you guys, you're just going to be watching the broadcast. So cool. So yeah,
We're
Patreon. No, not Patreon. It's something else, honey.
we're moving into more technology. What was that thing about technology providing a higher service?
I don't know, but we have to stay on top of it. just so that we can diversify our knowledge on tech space.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
going to diversify our knowledge.
yeah,
I'm
we're not
following your lead. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm all ears. I
gonna.
just
I'm
need.
not trying to be a Capricorn, but the astrology group, yes, yeah, yeah.
No,
So that's
you're.
another thing too. Like Sunny, I'm
It's
supposed to put that email thing on your platform,
yeah,
so I need to write that down. I need to. I'm gonna
yeah.
do that.
I have it simmering on the burner with getting it all good and organized. I have Mars in Virgo, so that makes me a touch of the perfectionist too. I deal with that too. I get more controlling though. Mars Virgo is more controlling. I'm kind of a. I have to. I have to observe the control freak within myself and not be so controlling.
Mm-hmm.
Letting go of control is a
It.
challenge.
No, I get that. I'm like that too. Let's see. It's impossible to not be a Cappy. Like you can't pretend to be one. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um,
Yeah, no pretending. We're moving into authentic waters where anything that was a delusion or illusion or false will no longer be. It will be revealed.
oh, that sounds good.
Masks come off.
Yeah, I thought we were done with that years ago.
You
Math.
know, I'm the last person that should ever be asked about face masks.
Uh
I'm
huh.
sure I would offend a lot of people if I told you what I really thought. But one of the cases that I was assigned this week is a lawsuit where a woman is suing her employer because no one would wear a face mask and she felt they should. Like she wore a face mask. And even though, like, the North Carolina governor or whatever did not have any face mask restrictions or regulations, she made trouble with her coworkers and clients who would come in not wearing face masks, and she got really hostile and very bizarre behavior, and they terminated her. And she has turned around and sued her employer over face masks. And I'm like, I said to the guy, he's like, I want to know your opinion about this. Like, no, 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 you don't.
I
I'm
was
the
like, you don't want
last
to hear
person.
what I think.
I'm the last person in the world you want to really tell you how I feel about that.
Uh,
So anyway, it's just so ironic. It's so ironic what we manifest.
that's funny, but
It's not about. It's really weird.
mm-hmm.
I those hidden psychos that can't control themselves around me. I need to visit more often. Yes, you do. We're all is welcome here. Just subscribe to Scorpio Moon Intuition, and you'll get the notifications. And
Or you just can estimate it to every 2 weeks.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll be online.
let's see. The 21st is the new moon. 20th, 21st, depending on where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, please reach out to me if you have any other questions. And this thing kind of goes by and I get distracted, so I may have missed some questions, but I'm happy to respond if you reach out.
Okay.
And
So,
visit ScorpioMoonIntuition.com. And what is it? SMI Beauty?
oh yeah, for my beauty stuff, smibeautyandbath.com. Also Scorpion Moon Intuition.com.
Yeah,
You guys are interested there, but
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. 21st is the spring equinox. Is it? I don't know.
It's 20 or 21st, depending on where you are in the globe.
Mm.
And so you cannot have a trine between the ascendant and MC. That would be a square. You could have a trine with a progressed planet, but not with a natal placement. That's a 90-degree square between the, oh, let's do those little puppets in the shadows. The square. I'm trying to make a square with my hands, but anyway, yeah. So MC to the ascendant is a 90-degree aspect. Yes. Yes. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Hoochie coo. We'll keep moving on. And I need to go let my puppy dogs out probably. So
I
I
know.
appreciate everyone patience with my jabberjaw.
No, you're fine. Well, hug and kiss your little ones for me and
I
Luna.
will. We'll we keep saying we're going to have a visit with them online.
Whenever you're ready, whenever you're well trained and
Yeah.
groomed, if you so choose to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. We are on spring break next week. We have classes on Tuesday night. We're off for a week and then start another group.
Oh,
They
okay.
are getting better. They're not quite as wild, but they're still pretty wild.
Well, Luna's wild, but she's a puppy. That's her
That's
excuse.
right. They're still puppies. Actually, Leon turned 2 years old this week.
Oh, did he?
March 1st. Yes.
Oh, that's his birthday?
Yes. He turns two.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
We're going to
send her.
celebrate his birthday this weekend.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
Luna, it's Leon's birthday.
I know. He's growing up.
Oh, if I only lived next to you, then we can
I
come
know.
over for a doggy party.
They each have their little dinosaur.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're connected by the dino.
Yes. They love those things. They're just the right size.
Oh yeah, it fits right in the mouth.
And yes, they get all the slobbery all over it.
Yeah, honey. Every time when I take a shower, she just like
Yeah.
wipes it all. I'm like, ew, God, like take it out. Like,
So Chewbacca, you're thinking of Mojo. He's the one that had the virus, like right when he was little.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, Leon's the oldest. He's the big brother.
Yeah.
They're good boys. Love
Mm-hmm.
them to death. I had a dream that I was leaving my dogs that I have now with some lady, and she was going to watch them for me. And I was walking away thinking, don't miss them. You'll be back. And then another voice like, do I really want to leave them? And I just get this really strong feeling like I'm not leaving my dogs here. And I turned back and I got them and I didn't go on my trip.
But didn't that happen?
I have had that happen in the past. Yeah.
I was like, that sounds like for real. It happened.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, but it wasn't the same ladies involved.
It doesn't have to be that the
Yeah.
energy was there.
Isn't that weird?
Uh-huh.
I just got a really bad feeling I could not leave my dogs, and I turned back and I got them. It was really weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you're
And
psychic, honey,
and I woke up thinking, this is not a healthy attachment. I need to take them to camp or something to have
It's
some
not that. Oh
separation.
my god.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you all. I'm gonna go let my little babies out, and I
Yeah.
will get this list of planet changes and aspects and trends to you in just a few minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
All
Thank
right. Oh,
you.
bless you, Luna.
I know.
Bless you.
Hey,
Cutie pie.
she's not licking. I think I have to. I don't know. She's like licking her paws a lot
Licking her
lately.
paws.
Hmm.
They say that can be allergy related.
Well, I did take her out today, but it was raining, so
Yeah.
I don't know. What?
She
You
is
were
so cute.
outside?
Outside? Luna, you want to go outside? What was that like? Did you get rained on?
She's like, yeah, I
She's so
want to go
cute.
there. All right, I'll let you go so you can take your kiddos
I'm going
out.
to take care of my dogs. They have to go out. And
Mhm.
thank you guys. I really had fun. I hope you had fun. Hope you learned something interesting, and we'll reconvene soon.
All right, sounds good.
All
Right,
righty.
bye.
Bye.